Hi everyone, welcome back to Learn English with Erica. Today we're going to be talking about adjective pairs. So adjectives are words that describe things, but there are some adjective pairs that get really confusing in English because some, it's like the same word, but some end in ed and some end in ing. So one example that you might have heard before is bored and boring. Okay, so with the adjectives that end in ed, that ed adjective is describing how a person is feeling. Okay, the ing adjective is describing a situation that's happening, maybe to make that person feel that way. Okay, so let's get started. Our first adjective pair will be bored and boring. So if you are in school sometime and your teacher is going on and it's not anything interesting, you might be feeling bored. You would feel bored because the class is boring, okay? On the other hand, you could be in your favorite class and the material is really interesting, and then you would be interested. That's how you would be feeling. You would be interested in the material and the class itself would be interesting. Okay, so remember, the ed is for how the person is feeling, and the ing adjective is for the thing or the situation that's making the person feel that way. Okay, let's do a couple more pairs. The next one is confused. Confused. Let's say you are trying to put together some furniture. You just bought a box from IKEA and you're trying to assemble it or put it together, and you're feeling very confused because it is confusing to put together a piece of furniture without instructions. The next word pair is important. So annoyed and annoying. So if something is annoying, it bothers you. So it could be a fly buzzing around in your ear. It could be a person that talks a lot and you don't want to listen. Okay, they are annoying, or the situation is annoying. You feel annoyed. So you never want to say, I'm so annoying, okay, because that means that you are annoying other people. You are the situation that's making someone else feel annoyed. So if you're feeling bothered by something, then you feel annoyed because the situation is annoying. The next one is, or the next pair is tired and tiring. If something is tiring, the situation is making you feel tired. So tiring is maybe you ran 1 mile and it is so tiring. And when you're finished, you feel tired. Tiring, tired. The next pair is frustrated. If you are frustrated, you're trying something, it's not working, you're feeling so frustrated. Okay, frustrated because what you're doing is frustrating. So it might be you're trying to explain something to someone else and they're just not understanding it, right? So you might feel frustrated, okay? You're just frustrated with the situation, which is frustrating. It is hard to explain something to someone when they're not understanding it, right? The next word pair is excited and exciting, right? If you're excited, you can't wait to do something, right? You are feeling excited. If you know that there's a birthday party going on later, when you go, you're feeling excited about going. When you're there, the birthday party is exciting, right? The situation is exciting. The next word pair is embarrassed and embarrassing, right? This is another one of those pairs that you don't want to confuse. So if you feel embarrassed, you did something that you're maybe not proud of, or like if you tripped and you fell, you are embarrassed, right? But if you are maybe walking through the hall or walking into a building or walking outside and someone's waving to you, right? And you wave back and then you realize that they're not waving at you, they're waving at the person behind you. That situation is embarrassing, okay? But you're feeling embarrassed because that was an embarrassing situation. Okay, the next one is amused and amusing. So if something is funny or cute or entertaining, you feel amused, like, oh, ha ha ha, right? You are amused because the situation is amusing. Maybe you go see a comedy show and someone is telling a joke being very funny. You are amused because you are in a situation that is amusing. The next word pair is shocked and shocking, right? If you are shocked, you're like, oh, you can't believe it, right? So you feel shocked. So a shocking situation is going to be something like that you find out that you did not expect. So maybe you find out that your next door neighbor is a rock star, can sing and puts on concerts. You are shocked because your neighbor is so quiet usually, right? Okay, the next word pair is worried and worrying. So if you are worried, you're concerned, you're like, I don't know what's going to happen, or I have a test, I'm so worried, right? But the situation is worrying. So it's worrying to me that my 2 students are absent. They are never not in school. Okay, so the situation is worrying and I'm feeling worried. The next word pair is scared and scary, right? Scared. If you're scared, you're afraid, right? You're feeling that way. The situation, maybe you go to a haunted house where there's ghosts. That situation is scary. So we have disappointed and disappointing. So disappointed is when you feel bad about something. You're sad, something did not work out the way you wanted, right? Disappointing is a situation. Maybe you order this meal, this food at a restaurant and you're so excited, but then you get it and you try it and the food, maybe the restaurant is disappointing. So you feel disappointed. And the last one is amazed and amazing. If you are amazed by something, you're surprised. It's kind of like shocked, right? But a situation could be amazing, so good. So these are positive adjectives. If you're amazed by something, wow, right? If the situation is amazing, it could be that someone is like maybe a 6-year-old is doing something that you thought only adults could do. It's amazing, right? The situation is amazing. So there you have it, some ED and some ING adjectives. If you enjoyed this video, like, share, subscribe, and let me know what else would you like to learn.